Yo.
What up? What up?
Ooh, what is going on, man?
Dude.
Post-Christmas pod.
The end of another year, man.
Yo.
This fucking year flew, bro. Even my kids who are teenagers are going that the time is going by really fast, even for them. And I'm just looking at them going like, you have no idea.
Like, you know what that means yet? Oh, man. Yeah. What a year, bro. This is just nuts, man.
A lot of shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah. What a year. That's all I could say. Like, there's just so much, man. So much has happened.
And I feel like it's like it's not over yet. And it's not. But we only have, what, like a week left? Is it this Sunday?
It's this Saturday is the last day. So
Okay.
Saturday's the first day of the new year. I mean, Sunday.
Sunday is. That's right. Which I didn't like, bro. I didn't like the Christmas and New Year's being on the weekend.
Yeah, it makes you feel robbed a little bit of some time.
Yep.
Right?
They fuck with my football schedule.
Yeah, those games on Saturday threw me off.
Dude, I was mad.
I'm like,
there was a bunch on Saturday.
Yeah, the whole slate essentially, except for like 3 or 4. Like Sunday felt like a Thanksgiving.
Yes.
They only had like 3 or 4 on Sunday, and they did like all of them on Saturday. I would like to forget my football team did not perform well on Saturday. So.
Dude, mine is on an 8-game losing streak. Let's not talk about it.
You know what the difference is right now, though? I feel like you have something to look forward to. Like, your team, I think, is building. I think if I'm looking at the team right now and I'm being realistic, I think they're going to be in rebuild mode here soon. I think they're going to have to tear it down and then build it back up.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
The Titans.
The Titans, man. I think Derrick Henry's. He's got to at some point, like, and I think you saw it this year. He's going to be human, right? So, like, he's going to start dipping production. Ryan Tannehill, like, you got to make a decision on him soon too. His contract's almost up. Like, I think he's got another year or two. I think Derrick Henry's got another year, maybe. So I think they have no wide receivers that are good. Like, the offensive line is trash. So, like, realistically now you're going, damn, man, like, you guys are, I think that window of the Super Bowl, there was like a 2-3 year span where I felt like they could compete for a Super Bowl, and that's realistically.
Last year was one of those years, right?
Yeah. Oh, last year
they had the great
year. Even with the injury, they had the number 1 seed in the AFC. They had all stuff with the injury to Henry, and they still went, and just, and then just got ousted in the first round.
Who'd they lose to?
The Bengals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Eventual Super Bowl winner. They had the first round bye,
and
then lose to the Bengals. So I guess, they wasted it. So I felt like, and it's funny, when it happened last year, it felt like the door slammed shut. But then watching them this year, you're like, oh, it really did. Like, last year was like, everything came together so well that I was like, this is the year, or it's never going to. And something about that loss, the way it felt, was like, that was the opportunity, and it's gone.
That's like when the previous Titans, the Oilers, back in the 90s, when the Buddy Ryan was coaching them, they had that amazing year, and they get out. Then they get what was, I guess, the largest comeback in playoff history. It still might be the Bills.
Yep.
The Bills ended up beating them, and it was led by Frank Reich.
And that's right.
He wasn't even a starter.
God. Nope.
It was Jim Kelly was a starter.
Jim Kelly was a starter.
Yep. And he came in, and they were down like, I don't know, it was like 30-0 or 30-3 at the half, and the Bills come all the way back and beat that team was nasty. They had Warren Moon.
Yeah. Warren Moon. Earl Campbell was on that team, I think. Or
no. Earl Campbell was way behind.
Was it before? I thought. Oh no, he was early 90s or late 80s.
No, he was like 70s, bro.
Really? I thought Campbell played like 89, 90.
Nah, he wasn't. Because when I was watching football, I don't think Earl Campbell was playing in like.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because Warren Moon was on that like 90 to 93, 94 teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had sick receivers. Yeah, that was a bomb squad for them.
Yeah, man.
They messed it up.
So I'd like to forget the football right now.
But I even think for this weekend, man. So they got the college games coming up on Saturday. The college playoffs, but that's New Year's Eve.
That's right.
So who knows where I'll be on that day? They're messing with my football schedule, man.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, 'cause people want to do stuff, and you're like, no.
I'll meet y'all later.
I like how during these things, everybody's gathered around a TV, though, watching some of the games. Like, I have found that on Thanksgiving, on Christmas Eve, there's like a TV is on, and undoubtedly most of the men in the house are just staring at the TV, like, it's so funny, man. Like, football's become like a religion of sorts.
It really is, man. So after, I was at first, because I couldn't take any time off, because I had some folks out. And so initially I was like grateful that it's on a weekend. I was like, oh, I don't take time off. I'm good. Or I can't take time off and it's on the weekend. Like I get to spend time with the family. It's good. But then when the games were on, I was like, oh, well, shit. I don't want to go traveling around people's houses. I want to watch these games.
It's the worst. People want to see you and stuff. Like, so y'all can give me the same socks you got me last year in a different color. Like, can we just can we do it on Tuesday?
All right, man. Yo, welcome back, everybody.
Longest intro,
right?
Or lack thereof in the history of the pod.
To the Carbon Footprint Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with the drink of the day.
Woof! Listen, man, this hit better than I expected. We hit this with a shot of Saint Germain, a shot of vodka, and very specifically, we use Russian standard vodka back on shelves. So Russian standard vodka, shot of that. We did a squeeze in of wedge of lime, and then topped it off with blackberry seltzer water. So, and I think that was it. Oh, and we garnished it with some berries, some raspberries and some blackberries. But this thing is good, man. It's a thotty drink for sure, and it's delicious, man. It's so good. I think it's called an elderberry vodka smash or something like that, but I'm calling it the flopped invasion. Because we're using the Russian standard. I didn't even think we were allowed to sell that anymore here, man.
You said they pulled it off the shelves, right?
I'm pretty sure they pulled all products from Russia off the shelves in a lot of countries, including ours. You couldn't get.
It must have been after they got Brittany Griner back.
Oh, maybe that was part of the stipulation. That trade gets worse and worse for us, bro.
We're able to sell the cheap Russian vodka again.
But this vodka slaps, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
Their vodka is really, really good, and it's so cheap. Like this bottle's less than $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be 15, now it's 18. So inflation caught up to it.
Oh,
too.
Shit.
But it's the cheapest like vodka that I had, and it's funny. Somebody years ago at a duty free shop.
Yeah,
I was buying like a bottle of Grey Goose or something like that, and a guy there goes, "Have you tried this?" And he pulls out the bottle of the Russian Standard, and it had the weird Russian letters on it and stuff. And I'm like, "No." He goes, I'm looking at the price, and I'm like, "It's like half the price of the Grey Goose." He goes, "It's awesome. You need to try it." And I was like, "All right, $15, whatever at the time." He wasn't wrong. He goes like, "It's just as smooth. It is good." And I've had it by itself. It tastes really good.
I wonder if in Russia is that shit vodka.
Probably they're probably drinking like the Beluga.
What do they? Yeah, I wonder what do they drink over there? What's the good shit over there?
It's made from the tears of Putin. It's sweat.
He's got a lot of those lately.
Call this the Zelensky special.
Yo, it actually brings me to my carbon footprint, man. Carbon footprint of the week is going out to this year, 2022.
Let's go.
So nobody in particular. But I was looking through like this, almost like the year in history, and obviously there's too much to go through. But some of like the big headlines of the year were Queen Elizabeth dying.
I forgot about that. How
I
bad
did
is
too.
That? Wow.
Yep, it was Ukraine getting attacked. Like that happened. That was this year, right? That whole Ukraine war started.
Wow.
The shooting of the elementary school in Texas.
Which one?
It's the one where the cops were. Yeah, where the cops were fucked up.
That is the one where the cops are scared. Okay.
Yep. The Brooklyn subway shooter. Remember that guy? There was a gunman
shooter in Brooklyn
in the subway.
But as a hobo, he just wanted some spare change. Damn, dude.
Hurricane Ian for us.
Okay, remember that for us?
Actually, no. But I mean that happened too. Yes, but what was the other one?
I don't even know what the other one's name is. There was
the
two.
First one that ripped.
The first one was Ian. Wasn't the first one the one that ripped the
so
South?
Then what's the other one was like Nicole or something. The one that came on the East Coast.
Yeah. It wasn't
right?
Joe's
I
name,
think it was
yeah.
like Nicole. But Ian was the one that the almost category 5.
Yes. The other one was the one that tore up the Southwest Florida, the Naples and Fort Myers area.
No, that was Ian.
Was that Ian? Okay.
I want to say Nicole was the one that kind of came through. Didn't really do much damage here,
And then
but did it up
dipped out.
like in Daytona. Remember they had all the like the storm surge, and they had all those condos that they were evacuating people.
Was the Florida condo thing this year too? No, that was like 2 years ago, right? Last year.
What's the
The
Florida
collapsed
condo?
condo here in
I feel like I remember that, but I'm thinking about what.
remember Miami somewhere? That whole condo
Oh,
building?
Miami
that was,
one.
That,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
a couple
no,
years
that
ago,
wasn't
right?
this year. That wasn't this year.
Okay.
Ivana Trump died, which I was looking at the deaths of this year, man. There's a lot of people died. If you were part of that whole like Italian mob movies, this is a bad year for you, bro.
Yeah?
It was like 2 dudes from The Sopranos. Ray Liotta passed.
Ray Liotta passed?
He passed, bro. Yeah, Ray Liotta's dead, bro.
Right, bro. He had like a heart attack or something, right?
Yeah, he was down in DR filming like a movie.
Shit, I forgot about that, man.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
But there was a couple dudes, man, that like 2 or 3 guys from like, and I don't know if they were all in The Sopranos, but it was like those old like Italian, not old.
Yeah,
when I say
like-
old, like I mean like 90s, like Goodfellas type shit.
Okay,
you know what
okay,
I mean?
okay,
Like
okay.
dudes from those movies. There's like 3 of them that passed.
You know, I've been. It's funny, man. You're right. A lot of them, like I feel like more than ever, like celebrities and people that you know, and I just kept chalking that up to the fact that I was getting older.
Yeah.
And maybe it happens every year, but it's more that I recognize now.
Right.
Because of my
Yeah,
age.
before
and I'm
you
getting
didn't
older.
realize- you didn't recognize
Yeah,
it.
I didn't recognize it, but I think like, yeah, maybe it's not that. Maybe it really is. There's just a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so
I mean, it is a lot.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it is a lot every year. Mm-hmm. But perhaps we're getting into that stage where it was like
It's people
the
that we
people
know.
that we watch constantly. What else we got on here? The whole abortion thing. The actual the changing.
Oh, the
of,
Roe v. Wade
the Roe v.
overturn.
Wade
Oh.
overturn and all the protests and shit like that.
I know a good guy down in DR. Speaking of,
I know Michael Che. He got the abortion dojo.
abortion.
And Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
That was early this year. That's right.
Yeah, man, that was like in March, I think.
Have you seen the movie? His new one?
No, but I did get the 2 free months of
And
Apple
that's just to get to
just
watch
to
it.
see it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't watched it. So I've let like a whole month go by.
Yeah, if you see it before, the thing is gonna expire. I want to see it. I gotta make time to try to watch it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I think Apple. I mean, like on behalf of Will Smith, Apple TV, they're giving like 2 free months of it if you sign up.
And he's allowed to get nominated for an Oscar and win. So I didn't know this.
But he
was a
just
thing.
can't go?
He just can't go.
Oh wow!
I'm like, that sounds great. I don't have to go to his.
You guys gonna mail it to me?
Yeah,
This is
I
fantastic.
can get nominated for this award. I could win this award. I don't have to sit through your shitty ceremony.
But he's probably not gonna win on principle.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Right?
He won't. I don't think they'll give it to
Like
him.
who votes for that? Is it like a committee?
I think it's like a committee of
Oh, yeah,
the
they're not
press
voting
or
for him.
whatever, and these like foofy ass like.
Yeah.
There are clearly people who don't watch like normal movies.
Yeah, but then
it's
they're
always the
not gonna vote
artsy
for him.
bullshit. It's like the Grammys have become that too, where you get these albums that win Record of the Year,
Yep.
and they're like these artsy. I'm like, no one's fucking listening to that. Like, to me, there should be, and I guess that's why you have Billboard and those guys. Where I'm like, but there should be an element to like the radio play. And like, what are common people? Like, I get the art of it, of like, oh, look at this, like the cinematography of this film or whatever, I did that. But I'm like, no, are people watching it? Like, is it good? Is it entertaining?
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, this year, fuck, man, that was this year too. Chris Rock's special drops in March, which is his first special after the slap.
Because he's been touring like crazy.
Yeah, he has.
Since then.
And I haven't seen any leaks, so I don't know if he addresses it or not. I can't imagine.
No,
that
supposedly
he doesn't.
he's addressing it, but like kind of like sporadically, like
Okay.
just like really like quick stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine, because if you're him and it's embarrassing too, you also don't want to dwell on that, and you don't want to give that more life and legs
Dude,
than it already has.
I think that he's developing the content for the bit. I think that's what he's doing, like in his like tours. I think that's what he's doing. He's experimenting with with what works, what doesn't.
You have to let him host the Oscars this year, the whole damn thing. How great would that be, bro?
Oh yeah, because
and then
Will's
mid
gonna get it.
Oscars, you have some random actor run on the stage after him, dressed like Will. Hit me up, Hollywood. I got ideas.
But any memories for you, man, that stood out for this year?
Shit, man. There's just so much stuff. Yeah, like I can't think of anything. Just like
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, the Queen Elizabeth thing is one of those things where it's like a once in a lifetime, once in a multiple lifetimes things that you're like, okay, this is historic. Like it's wild. Like it dominated the headlines.
And that was the one where I was like, I don't really get it.
I didn't get it. I didn't care, but I knew. I guess I understood the significance of the moment of like, like a quote unquote royalty, and probably the biggest name in royalty that you recognize still. Like there's so many countries that have monarchs still, but that's the one that we kind of know.
But I didn't realize it until I spoke to someone that was from there.
Yeah,
actually, it was from there and lives there, and I remember her telling me that, like, just sort of describing in her own words how much that woman was loved in that country, and how in the 70 years of rule,
man,
right, like she was like
almost flawless.
The epitome of what you would want royalty to be
in terms of, and I should say flawless. I know there's a lot of controversy behind her, and like the whole colonialism thing, especially early on, and there's a lot of stuff, I think, depending on what side of the coin you're on or whatever.
They were doing that shit back then, 70 years ago, man.
There's some stuff that there's still there that was definitely controversial, but I think in her country, like she was revered.
Yeah, just in her country.
Exactly. So you can't outside. And I don't know enough about it. I'd be ignorant to be like, yeah, I hate her, because I didn't have an opinion either way. But I just knew, again, she was revered. And speaking to people from there, it was like, a lot of them were just like, that was my childhood. Like you're like, in school where she, if she made a speech or was out or whatever, like the world stopped and you listened and so like I think that was probably the biggest thing. And the World Cup for me this year, I think, was one of the things that I'll remember of it being like just this massive change. And then personally, like there's just so much changes this year too, like work and all kinds of stuff that's happened that you're just like, man, this is a wild just year that I looked up and it was like, holy fuck, it's over. And in the same breath, like I can't wait. You know what I mean? I'm like, this year was exhausting, bro.
It's exhausting.
It was exhausting.
I'm tired, bro.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm like, let's get this shit out of the way. Like I'm done. Like close. Like I don't. It's funny, man. I've also never. I don't know if this is old age, bro, or I'm getting grumpy, or I like to call it wisdom or whatever the fuck. But I find myself not looking forward to holidays anymore. Like I used to. Like Christmas used to be my favorite time of the year. And
is it more work now?
It's more work, but it's also the people around you. Everybody's in a bad mood, man. I find that from November, like after Thanksgiving.
Really?
So, dude, the road, everybody's just pissy.
Oh, on the road.
The traffic is horrible. Everybody's running to the stores. They're honking at you in parking lots. Like everybody's just in a bad, shitty mood because they're rushing to get gifts because they just left work and they're overworked and they're just like everything about it. The holidays to me has become such a chore. And I'm just like, like you're worried about disappointing people or like, are you living up to, like it's just, it's become this thing to me now, man. The more that go by, I'm like, can this just like, I can't wait for this week to be over.
Yeah. For me, man, I know my wife was stressing about like that kind of stuff of gifts for people. And there was a few that she was stressing over and I'm just like, yo, this is supposed to be fun. Like, if you think about something for it was almost like there was a stage there where she was thinking that she had to sort of like match gifts, right? Like, oh, if they're gonna give me this and I need to get something of equal value.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, that's not true,
man.
Like you just like if you see something that the fun part is like if I see something that it reminds me of you, or if I see something that goes like, oh shit, like he would like this or she would like this, like that's the fun part, man. You buy that shit and that's it. Whether that's a fucking pair of socks or some pajama pants or whatever, like who gives a shit, right? Like it's the thought behind it. Yeah. But it's become so commercial and it's about spending that money and
everything about it, dude. Even like I got family when families getting together and everybody's just like cooking and doing stuff and then worried about like cleaning up after stuff. Like even like the whole thing to me is just stressful now. Like I'm like, this is not enjoyable anymore.
That sucks,
like
man.
you know, and I used to look forward to it at least even for the kids because you like their reaction to stuff and you want to see it. And so you know, there's still that excitement where you're like, oh man, how are they gonna feel about this? And you know, you get to spend that day playing with whatever they did and watching them. You're like, oh man, that's so cool. But in the same breath, man, I find that month leading up to it, it's also, I think the older I've gotten, I can sort of understand too, where people tell you the highest suicide rates are in this month. The highest, like people, you know, like depression and people being upset and checking themselves into places and all like rehabs and all that stuff. It's always really high around the holidays. And I
wonder why that is.
Dude, it's a reminder of either how alone you are. It's a reminder of either how poor you are. It's a reminder of, you know, maybe if you work, how overworked you can be. It's, I think it's just all this combination of stuff, right? Like if you're looking around you, you know, optics will tell you this person has a perfect life. Look, they're shopping for all these gifts and not for family. So, right. And also I think it tends to be the first and last for a lot of things, right? Like for, bro, if someone's diagnosed with some terminal illness, it's their last holiday and they know it.
Oh,
if someone has, you know, kids, it's their first one. And so then there's this joy, like the emotions are like on the opposite sides of the spectrum are high.
Yep.
And, you know, so like, I don't know, man, there's something about like the last few that I'm like, couldn't wait for the week to be over because I go, the world just finally, everybody just like takes it down a notch again and people are like waving at each other again and letting you cut them in traffic and nobody's like stressed out like anymore because
they're trying to steal your parking.
Yeah, dude, in the parking lots. Oh my God, bro. Like it's like,
yeah, I heard, man. I didn't do too much shopping, man.
Crazy, man.
And it was cool because like I went out with my sons to go buy you know, gifts for my wife, and they were like, at first it's just like, oh, I'm not really sure what to get, blah, blah, blah. And then and I literally told them just like, guys, it doesn't really matter what it is, man, but if you see, like, let this be fun, you know what I mean? Like this is not supposed to be stressful. It's not supposed to be about the money that you spend. Like, let's just have some fun and we'll get some stuff, and you know, if it's not up to whatever you thought it should be in the beginning, like, it's okay.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, I think from a gift giving perspective, I did stress myself out the least of any year, I think. That's and good. I went with that sort of philosophy of, if I thought of something that I knew, I went with the practicality that they would use. I didn't stress about, like, is this good enough? Or is this thing? I honestly went, like, embraced this whole, I think this is really cool and this person would like this. And if they didn't, fuck it, I tried. Like, I literally just, you know, was just like, you know, let it, it is, man.
You won't know if they like it or not. They'll talk about you after you leave.
And I think it was one of the first years that I was willing to sort of accept that. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, I felt good about it afterwards. I was like, oh, I think it was fine. I worried more. I think it sort of hit me that maybe I worried more other years than I needed to.
Yep.
Like, it was everything about it, man. So I'm hoping I got to find a way to make it like enjoyable again in like future years, because I'm telling you, like the last few, I've been like, get me the fuck out of this month. The minute December hits, I'm like, give me to January 2nd.
Oh, yeah, that sucks, bro.
Yeah. So
gotta get out of that shit.
Yeah.
All right, man. With 2023 coming up.
Oh, well, wait, man. We gotta hit on the word of the year for 2022.
Oh, hit me with the word of the year. No.
So the what is it? Webster's word of the year. Who does the word of the year thing?
Is it Oxford?
I think it is Oxford. The Oxford Dictionary does the word of the year, and the word of the year was goblin mode. It's not even a word, man. It's a mood.
It's 2 words?
It's 2 words. Goblin
it is 2
mode.
words.
Okay. Have you ever heard the expression goblin mode?
No.
It's like, best way I can describe it is like if you're sitting around in your sweats all day, eating chips in bed, watching TV, not cleaning, not doing shit, you're in goblin mode. Like you're just going to chillax. You're not going to give a fuck.
Have you heard it before?
Yeah, but I've not enough to where I thought it would be the popular word. Like I've heard it a handful of times.
Okay.
And mostly probably on TV. Like never, goblin and maybe mode. In stand-up. I've never heard it in like the context of someone that I knew going like, I was in goblin mode all weekend. Like never heard that at all. And I hate that we're, I'm a grumpy ass person. That the fact that we're getting these like, it's not even a word. Like I don't know what to like. It's like the Oxford word of the year should be like an actual word, but I guess they're adopting it. Like it is now, though. I guess
gravitas.
Yes, exactly. Gravitas. That's the name of the episode. No one's gonna find that shit because they can't spell it. goblin mode. Gravitas. Oh man.
Do you remember that there was a interview back when I listened to Howard Stern? Keith Sutherland did an interview with a guy, and he's like, and he asked him, "What's your favorite word?" And that's what he says. His favorite word, and he's like, gravitas. And he's like, "What's your least favorite word?" And he goes, "Nigger." And you know Howard Stern will fucking play that shit. That'll be a soundbite forever.
It's the commercial forever in between. Oh God, yo, I've never heard that. Oh my God. Oh fuck, Howard got away with a lot of shit, man.
I forget if he did that when he was on terrestrial radio, when he moved to Sirius. I don't know.
It had to be on terrestrial that long ago.
That
wait.
shit was funny.
You said it was Keifer Sutherland?
Keifer Sutherland.
Oh my God. And it was the person he interviewed, or was it Keifer Sutherland?
No, he was being interviewed.
Oh, so he said
that, yeah.
My least favorite. Full disclosure, Sean's black, so as a resident black man, he's
That's
allowed
right.
to say that.
That's right, goddammit.
Before y'all drop into the TS.
No fucking.
My least favorite
that'll be
word is beaner.
That'll be the only thing they take out of our shit. They cut me out saying that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm canceled.
And me laughing.
They'll cut it up. They'll be like, they were talking about the Queen, and then he said the word. And he said the N word.
No, no, put the N word, and then they'll do a clip, and it'll be a soundbite of me going, "Get me out of here!" Talking about the mother. I can't wait for this to be.
Oh shit, man.
Oh fuck, bro. Oh,
Dude, with
man.
2023 coming up, man.
Yeah.
Any resolutions?
Oh man, you putting me on the spot today, man.
Well, you know what, man? Because I was looking at this and I was like, you know what? One of the dope things about the new year is like, you have like millions of people that are trying to like make resolutions,
Yeah.
and in sort of like in the spirit of trying to be better,
Yeah.
right? And then I thought about it and I go, why do we do that? Like, why do we think that this point at which the Earth rotates around the
Yeah,
sun,
literally, like
that's all that happened. Nothing's really changed. But it also brought me to think about, you have somebody that says, "Oh, I'm gonna start working out," and it's like, "Oh, okay." You like, when are you starting? It'll be like Wednesday, and they'll be like, "Start on Monday."
right.
It's like, why do you start on Monday, bro? Start tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I just start tomorrow. But we do that. A lot of shit. We use like the days, the days of the week. We use whatever. Beginning of anything, beginning of a month, beginning of a year is a huge one for people with resolutions. And I'll be honest, man, I haven't even thought about my own resolutions. Because I typically do, like, if I go, oh, like, you know what, I want to start reading more. I just pick up a book the next day. I just go, you know what, I'm going to carve out time starting tomorrow, and I'm just going to start reading. Same thing with working out. Like, I don't work out on the weekends, but I wouldn't, like, I don't wait until a Monday. If I go, oh, well, I'm going to start back on whatever, it's just like, I'll just do it tomorrow.
Just go tomorrow. It's funny, man. So I hadn't really thought of it in the context of a resolution, but I have thought of like things that I'm like, okay, I need to start working on this. And a lot of it is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like taking care of myself. So that is things to me like reading more. Like I used to read in the mornings. Or
yeah, me too, man. And I stopped it this year. I stopped.
Same, and so I haven't done it, and so I'm we were talking earlier about like routines, and I'm starting to realize how much of that like ruins the rest of your day. But when you get out of those routines, or you get out of that like self care of like, hey, when you read and you get some sort of exercise and you get some sort of sun and you get good conversations with people and you spend time with family and you do all this stuff, like I go, that stuff's good, man. It's healthy. Like it's sort of, not that it masks other things, but I find that like as much as humans need like physical well-being, right? Whether that's eating the right things and all that, I think emotionally you are what you feed your mind to, right?
Oh,
and so,
yeah, definitely.
And so I something that I've been like sort of hammering to myself lately is that I want to I need to get back to doing things for me. Like, and one of those is like, okay, I want to get back to getting on a routine where I read and getting back into an exercise regimen and getting back, like that sort of stuff. Like this year was just so chaotic that I feel like I didn't get a chance to like sit there and actually like, it's one of those like I gotta put the like you know, you put your own oxygen mask on before you put on the people next to you to help them. I feel very much like I spent a lot of the year trying to put the oxygen mask on everybody around me, and so like I'm like, okay,
No, it's so true, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, I think, and when I think back of why I stopped, so I used to do, I would read for somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes. I would meditate for like 20 minutes, and then I would do my workout. What changed for me this year was that I joined a gym, so now I have the travel time to and from the gym, which is not too far. It's definitely, it's definitely like in the neighborhood, but then once I'm there, I can dedicate an hour, whereas before I was dedicating like 45 minutes to working out, and I had no travel time, so there was my say 20 minutes for the other two things. And so I dropped those two, and I felt it like this year where it was like halfway through the year I was like, fuck man, like I have like 6 books just waiting for me to read at home that I haven't read.
Yeah, same.
I just need to carve out time.
We should hold each other accountable to that, man.
All
Like
right.
a book a month.
Ooh, that's good.
You want to do a book a month?
Book a month.
2023.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Book a month.
Book a month. 23. Let's do it.
All right, and then we gotta post what book. That'll be part of it.
Okay.
We can post what book, and then like I said, so we gotta have 24 books read.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, we in.
I'm in. And now, can we do graphic novels as long as they're big and thick?
I don't know if that counts as a book.
That don't count as a book. It's got to be like a book. Because I will do graphic novels, but they're thick as shit.
Yeah.
Like I like those. But that's my like. I don't read a lot of like. What do you call that? Like fiction. So.
Yeah.
So I probably should. That is my version of the fiction. I read a lot of like business books and stuff.
I don't like
that.
fiction either.
Okay. So I got to find some other type of, because I find the escapism of that does help. Like,
Dude, do it. Yeah, do
all
it. It's allowed.
man, you know what? If I do graphic novels, I'll do more than one a month. I'll do a few. Book a month. I got it. Let's go.
All right, we in. What else, man? Christmas. You mentioned Christmas earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you up. Top 10 holiday movies.
Well, let's go.
All right.
Now, this is according to what?
I don't
Or this
know.
is your opinion, or this is
no?
just...
Someone
Okay.
got, no. I read this shit in the
Okay.
I forget what the source is. But coming in at number 10, Elf.
Okay.
The one with what's
Will
his
Ferrell?
name? Will Ferrell.
Yeah, it's a good Christmas movie. I like that.
Number 9, The Santa Claus.
The Tim Allen?
I think this is a Tim Allen one. I believe so.
Okay. 10 to 9. All right, I can see that.
Number 8, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Classic.
Yeah, it is a classic. I can see that.
Number 7, White Christmas. That I've never heard of.
I've never heard of that.
So that must be one of them old ones. Which you're going to come back to, like, number 1 is an old one. So
That's not on a site that I thought would be friendly for...
my least favorite word.
Yeah, I'm like, we're in...
All right, man. What the hell was I up to? That's 10, 9, 8. That was 7. Number 6 is A Christmas Story.
Okay, which to me is the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah,
but
no,
okay.
I do. And that one, man, every year TNT or TBS plays it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, it's on my house for 24 hours.
Yeah, I usually would leave it on in the background.
Just let it roll, right.
Yeah, I love that movie, man.
Number 5, The Polar Express.
That's a great Christmas movie.
I've
too.
never seen it.
No. It's a great movie.
Yeah?
It's animated, but it's so good. It's so good. And it's Tom Hanks is animated. He looks like fucking Tom Hanks.
Oh, really?
It's a great movie.
All
I think you
right,
like it.
I gotta try it out. I gotta test it out.
Yeah.
Number 4, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Which one?
I'm assuming it's the...
Jim Carrey? Or
No, I think it's got, to me, it's got to be the
newer
original.
one. Oh.
But I don't know for a fact.
Yeah.
Number 3, Home Alone.
1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
Is 2 the one that he's in New York?
Yeah, 2 is New York.
Like he's in Central Park with the pigeon
with the
lady.
Pigeon lady.
That one is good too.
I love that one. Yeah.
But I think the first one is the best, man.
Okay.
My opinion.
Yeah.
I love when he plays that old. What's the old movie with the dude that fucking kills people?
Oh yeah. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. You know that shit is made up for that movie?
No,
it's not a real.
It's not a real movie.
It's not a real movie.
Because they have when he plays the movie, there's like a title and shit.
Yes, it's made up.
Oh,
it's a scene that was shot for that.
I had no
where
idea.
He goes like, "You were sleeping with my brother." Like,
right.
Off, yeah. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3.
1 before I pump you full of lead.
2. Then he's like, he doesn't even get to 3. He fucking sprays off.
Like,
It's like, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And he shoots a couple of times, and a Happy New Year. I mean, just goes. That's a great. You know, it's funny. I don't know why I never think of Home Alone as a Christmas movie, but it is.
Oh, it very much
It
is.
absolutely is. Yeah, and
Now-
it is a great movie.
So I saw that one over this holiday season. Obviously, they've been
I need to
playing
watch that. I haven't
They've been
seen it.
watching. They've been playing Christmas movies like crazy. That one and part 2, and the one thing that I never noticed, and I just noticed this year, where I'm like, fuck you, you're just a little rich kid.
He is.
Is it that little? Dude, you see that house that they live
my
in?
God, bro.
It's insane.
He's also an asshole because he could have called the cops at any given time.
Right.
This fucking kid's a psychopath, bro. Like today, he'd be a school shooter. Kevin McAllister is a terrorist.
Allegedly.
What's his favorite word? Least favorite.
All right, coming in at number 2, A Charlie Brown Christmas,
Really?
which I did not see on there.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but that plays every year.
Yeah. And I've
It's
seen
like
it.
it's like the Rudolph movie.
Yeah,
It's like the Rudolph
it
one.
is like the
plays
Rudolph. They just
every
play
fucking
it.
year. Yeah.
That's so true.
Number 1, It's a Wonderful Life.
So I see that stupid movie on these Christmas lists every year. I've never seen it.
I never seen it either. It's got to be black and white,
I think it is.
right?
I've never seen this movie. I don't know anybody who's ever watched this movie, and I see it on these Christmas lists all the time.
Yeah, it's number 1, bro.
And it's number 1.
Yep.
Dude, honestly, I'd be more okay if it was like the Charlie Brown or a Rudolph or Home Alone. A Christmas Story to me is number 1. But
Yeah, and
whatever.
the Rudolph wasn't even on here.
Who gets 24 hours straight? I think that should be the barometer.
Right? That should be it.
That should be the barometer. If a channel plays you for 24 hours straight, you're the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Have you seen the new one? A Christmas Story Christmas?
I did. I didn't. So,
I haven't
Wait a
watched
minute.
it yet.
you mean the one where he's older?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I won't ruin it for you.
Okay.
Just because you're a fan of the movie, definitely
Yeah.
go watch it. It's not better than the first one by any means.
Okay.
But some of the characters, besides the main guy,
Ralphie?
some of the characters are in the movie, so it's cool seeing them as the adults.
And I'm trying to think. It has to take place then like in the 50s or 60s, right?
No, it's like in the 70s. Because it was in the 50s, I think it was the first movie.
I thought the first one was in like the 20s or 30s. Oh, it's in the 50s?
I'm pretty sure it's in the 50s.
Okay. So this is 20 years after or whatever?
So I would say it's probably like 20 to 25 years later.
Later, okay.
Yeah, you can tell like the decorations are all like 70s style.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta watch it because I saw that he was in it and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool because him as an adult.
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
so it'll be, and it's cool because not everybody, you don't see everybody in the beginning, but then as they come on, it's just like, oh shit, that's that kid. Yeah, so there's a few of them.
So
It's not-
Randy's in it too, his brother Randy.
I cannot reveal that secret.
I gotta watch it.
So you definitely gotta watch
it. All right.
And then I got 4 notable mentions. So essentially like 11, 12, 13, and 14.
What?
Number 11, Die Hard. That's a Christmas movie, goddammit.
It is.
Yes.
That is up there. So that's up there with. Let's see, but Home Alone, I can see why it's Christmas. I don't know why. Yeah, Die Hard doesn't feel like a Christmas movie to me. But I haven't seen it in so long.
If you
Maybe I
watch,
need to go back.
I mean, it takes place during Christmas, like during the Christmas season. So there's a
Yippee-ki-yay.
lot of that in there.
I know what his favorite word is. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. He's like,
12, Frozen. 13,
is Frozen a Christmas movie though? It's just cold.
it's just cold.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I would say.
Yeah. Sound of Music.
Is that Christmas?
I don't know. I've never seen it. And then the last one, which I was just like, really? Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, I wouldn't classify that. I feel like in order to be considered a Christmas movie, it can't just take place around Christmas.
Like, it can't just be cold.
Yeah, it has to be like
I wonder,
deliberately Christmas as a theme of the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I would agree. But in Frozen, does it take place around it? Do they
I didn't think it
gifts?
took
And there's
place
nothing
around
like that,
Christmas
right?
at
I don't
all.
think so either.
Does Frozen
Remember
2?
she runs away.
Yeah,
Right?
This chick trying to get married.
She builds her own
and she builds her own
thing,
like
and
castle. Yeah, the whatever frozen tundra because she's
because she's frozen.
the parents die in some ship thing in the first one. Like, wait, it's Frozen 1 or 2?
It's one.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a Christmas movie at all. It's just cold.
I wonder if it came out during Christmas.
Yeah, but then why does that
No,
categorize?
it doesn't.
I Am Legend is a Christmas movie then. 'Cause I don't know why, but I remember that shit came out around
during
Christmas.
that time. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty.
that's a really good movie, man.
That movie's awesome. That might be his last banger.
Dude, I watched a movie this weekend, Smile.
Oh, how was that? That looks creepy.
So it is creepy. But I typically like movies because you mentioned I Am Legend, and it made because I thought about it then as I was watching it. Like I like horror movies, but I like horror movies with some kind of resolution. I don't like ones that just go when the movie ends and you just go like, well, okay, I guess that shit just keeps happening.
Okay.
Smile was one of those. So it's good. There's no resolution.
But there's no resolution, so you're like people finna keep dying or not.
Oh yeah, right. Whatever's happening.
Whatever's
just,
happening
yeah.
just keeps happening. Huh. That's odd, man.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Dude, do you know what I saw? I know Christmas has passed us, but there was like this doctor who was warning against this crazy trend that people were doing during Christmas.
Is that a TikTok trend?
Just in general in their personal lives. So he was saying that he was warning people against masturbating with Christmas ornaments because he's seen a lot of accidents, and this time of the year they get a lot of emergency room visits because people tend to masturbate with Christmas ornaments and they end up in places they shouldn't end up, and then they won't come out. So
they're shoving Christmas things up their ass. Ornaments.
Yeah, there's a whole picture with a candy can on this bitch. But I guess people do it with Christmas balls, and they got the weird shapes and stuff like that. And he's like, this could lead to severe injury because they could cut you, they could break inside of you, they could, male or female. So,
dude, people have this like infatuation with putting things in their ass. I mean, obviously not most people.
Also vaginas.
Also
vaginas.
Sorry. Yeah. But
So
that actually makes more sense.
But no. But you're right. Like people have weird infatuation putting things in their eyes. But this is both. He said that this is people doing it, and actually, and this person specifically is a gynecologist, so they're explicitly talking about vaginas, saying that people need to stop masturbating with ornaments during Christmas because it's a problem. People getting hospitalized.
Do you go to your gyno when you
Yo.
Right? Do women go to their gyno when if something like that happens? If you get something stuck in there, are you going to the emergency room or are you trying to make an appointment to your gyno?
Yeah, right. Depends what time of the day it happens. Is it Friday night? Because then I probably got to go to the emergency room. Is it Tuesday morning?
Do you call your gyno up and be like, I need to come in?
Also,
I got a Grinch up there.
with the wrong end first. Yo, that's an interesting question because, bro, what's less embarrassing? The person you're gonna go see all the time for your annual physical, and then they're like, oh, how are you feeling this year? Any other inanimate object or like interesting objects you've put up there since the last time I saw you, or the emergency room where you're in and out and they're not gonna see you again. It's still embarrassing, but you're not going back to them. I guess you still have to go to your gyno then after that, and they're like, "Oh, how was your year?" You're like, "Oh, it was fine." So the Grinch thing got stuck in my vagina, really shredded up my labias there.
Dude, every time we talk about anything like that, I always bring me back to that. And I told a story before on here where when I was in the Marine Corps, I had a Navy corpsman show me X-rays of guys with a spray like an aerosol can up their ass. The most disturbing one was somebody put tweezers in his penis.
In his penis?
in his penis. The whole thing, bro.
This is what's infuriating about this stuff. Like an aerosol can. You know how big and thick that shit is? You're setting us all up for failure, gay or straight. Like, I can't follow that,
we
bro.
can't match that.
I can't follow that, no fucking aerosol can, bro. Damn, like, masturbate with a push pop. You're less disappointed when I come around. Shit, bro.
Those are the two, though, man, that always, like, stick in my head is the aerosol can and then the tweezers in the penis, bro. Because I was just like, oh, my God. I couldn't imagine putting anything up that hole.
Oh, that shit is... Oh, my... That shit just sounds painful, bro. Oh, even one side of tweezers, let alone both.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a sicko. You do some shit like that, bro.
Dude, you know what, man? We're talking about some of the deaths in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
That guy Twitch.
That's right.
The guy,
man.
so Steven Boss.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, this guy was on. I think the first time I seen him, he was on. If You Think You Can Dance, or some shit like that.
So he met his wife, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So he was like he's also like a DJ, and he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He was like the DJ for the show, I believe. But whenever you seen this guy, he was always like ray of sunshine. Whenever you see him on TV, obviously, but even the people, his family, his wife, Ellen, anybody that came into contact with this guy, and even on his social media page, he was always doing different dances, whether it was with his wife or with his kids.
Dude,
or
the
with all
day
of them.
before he went to disappear, there's like an Instagram post of him and his wife dancing, like,
really?
or what, like, yeah, literally doing a whole dance routine together, smiles, like,
Yep.
The day before, I think he disappeared.
Yeah, and so this guy, he ends up leaving his car. He calls an Uber, and takes him to some like local hotel, and he freaking kills himself. He shoots himself.
And he left a note, from what I could gather.
He did. Now I didn't see it. I read an article about him leaving the note. It wasn't there to say like what it was, like what exactly was what it was verbatim. However, it said that the contents talked about some things that he had been struggling with, but they didn't say what.
Man, this was a weird one because, like, very rarely am I shocked by someone who offs himself, especially because you're like, oh, like, you've heard stories. I think the last time I was truly shocked might have been a Robin Williams, but I think that was my ignorance. Like, I remember going like, holy shit, like that guy.
No, dude, that was shock because of what we see.
But everybody came out because of what we seen. But I'm saying, but I think
Right.
it was my ignorance because then when you're talking to people, they're like, nah, man, that dude was sad and he suffered from this for years and da 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 da. Like,
Yeah.
then all that comes out and his family's like not shocked by it,
Okay.
right? Like, this guy, like everyone who around him is universally shocked. That immediately I thought, and this man, I hope I'm wrong and I may be an asshole. Like, what'd he do? Like, what happened? Like, what? Like, that's literally what I thought. I went, there's something.
What did he do that he couldn't get out of?
That he couldn't get out of, or he thought he couldn't get out of, right? Like, I've been waiting for the story to come out. Like, who comes out and goes like, oh, he knocked me up, or, whatever. He gets accused of something crazy. Like, I'm just waiting for that to come out because you go, no one goes from perfectly okay like that. Like, no signs? That or people are lying, right? Like I'm like, there's just... And then I hate that the media grabs this thing and they start talking about these like, oh, silent sufferings, or there's like a new name for whatever, like people who, and listen, man, I think as men, I think we can all agree that there is a lot of shit that we sort of burden or we take like we shoulder and we don't show emotion about it, right? Like, I think we've been conditioned to just like sort of like, hey, you got to get through it, you got to push forward, you got to do that, right? You got people counting on you and whatever.
Man up,
like, right? Yeah, there's
like
people counting on you. Like, I think I'm guilty of this. Like, if not me, who? Right? So I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna knock it out. I can't afford to sit there and take my break day or my sad day or my day on the, like sleeping all day because I'm sad or whatever the fuck. Like me, I can't be afforded that opportunity, right? So, I think there's a lot of men that would suffer from that, but I think there's a lot of men that would suffer from that or go through that and do it. But I don't know, man. Very rarely would they be like, if they off themselves, would we be like, never would have saw that coming? You might be like, never saw that coming. He's had some moments, like you would hear that, right? Like, this guy is like, people felt like, no, this dude was no indication.
Yeah, like ray of sunshine.
None. Yeah. And so it just led me to believe that, like, yo, what is coming out about this guy that we don't know about, that he felt like oh, like I couldn't get out of this, or there's no coming back.
Yeah,
from this.
man, because, I
I
mean,
hope not, man. I don't know.
So
I do hope, because
Yeah.
then it tells you like, okay, there was a reason. There's never a good reason, but it was a reason, right? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah, but no. There's, I mean, my opinion, bro. There's never a good reason to.
No, like there's nothing is not solvable, right? So you go, for it to feel like that, it has to be something that you feel like your life is over anyway. And that's why I'm like, I struggle with this, where you just go, what is this bad that a person who seemingly is, because I know people will be like, oh, this person's rich, or this person's famous, or this person's this and that, and that, like Chester from Linkin Park. Like, shocked,
seemingly
in the
had it all.
moment,
Right.
seemingly has it all, but no one was surprised around him, right? Like, oh, this guy suffered from depression for years. As a fan, I'm shocked, right? Sad,
Right.
and whatever. Like, that one hit me really hard. But it's almost like no one would have said, like, I would have never saw that coming. I think the timing was odd for a lot of people. They were just like, man, we just felt like he was coming out of it, kind of thing.
Right.
Where this guy's universally been, like, there was no indication. I think, like, even like you would think his wife would be like, man, he's had some moments, but like there was none. Like the dude, a week before him, a week or two, the guy, remember the Green Ranger from Power Rangers? I'm gonna get his name wrong. I think it's Jason. So he's the guy who played the Green Ranger and the White Ranger and Power Rangers and all that. He offs himself, and his wife,
really?
Him and his wife are having a conversation, or she says a conversation. Some people around say an argument, whatever. I don't know all the details, but they're in a hotel room. She leaves downstairs to go get snacks. She comes back up. She can't get into the room. Call the cops. Cops go in. He offs himself. So like,
wow.
No shock. There's people who've come out who've been like, man, I thought he was getting over his demons and da-da-da. Like,
right.
Even there, they're talking about it. Even she's like, yeah, he suffered with it. But he's publicly spoken about his struggles with like.
But this guy, nothing.
Nothing. And I think this is why this one's throwing me off, because I'm like, okay, I hate to be that asshole, but it's just like, all right, what's coming out, man? That like, and I've just been waiting for that. Like, who's gonna come out and say something that's just like,
yeah, because I mean, the guy was successful, right? Got a wife and 3 kids, I want to say.
3 kids,
living in a multi-million-dollar house.
He, like, the Ellen show had been canceled, but they had done enough where they had offers, or they actually had shows in the works that they were producing, and him and his wife. I think one of them included perhaps judging on So You Think You Can Dance, like one or both of them coming back as that. Like,
okay.
Like there was a lot of opportunities. So like I've heard rumors about like financially, but the guy had some opportunities out there. He's also, Ellen's been, I'm sure he can hit her up. There's enough connections there where I'm sure he can get.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, who's had a worse year than Ellen?
Twitch.
Yeah. Right, because didn't her was it ex-wife?
Wait, did she?
Didn't she? She went. I don't know. She died in a car accident, or she offed herself, or the. Oh, you remember?
Oh man, I forgot the actress.
Yes,
chick.
the one that she was in a ton of shit back in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, I know you're talking
right?
about.
Yeah. She died? She died this year.
Crash.
Was it a car crash? Yeah. She died in a car crash. She was coked out of her mind or whatever.
Yeah,
she was on some shit.
Some kind of substance. Yeah. She was the one who died in a car. Yeah, but yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, man, what a rough go. Damn, dude. Lesson learned. Don't stay away from Ellen.
Stay away from Ellen.
Yeah, she got that bad juju.
That's a lesson learned.
That's a lesson learned, man. Holy shit. Is she still with the supermodel? She used to have
She's with a supermodel?
She used to have, like, wasn't Portia de Rossi, whatever? Isn't she like a supermodel?
I don't pay attention, man.
I thought Ellen had a baddie. That we were like, how the fuck did Ellen? And we were like, oh, it works for women too. You can be rich and land a really good looking and date out of your league. Not sexist at all.
That's good to know.
Bro, money's not sexist. It is an equal opportunity. What's the word I'm looking for here? I don't know. But that shit is
that's funny as hell.
So funny, man. Yeah, what a wild thing, man. What do you think that guy? I don't know. Like,
Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. Like I said, that I think that
sad, man.
I think that a lot of I think that men kind of go back to your point. I think men suffer silently, and so who knows what he was going through And then, if he's a type that doesn't really have the outlet to, like I can come over here and tell you anything, right? And it's like, and at least to get it off my chest. Did he have that? I don't know. Or are you in a space because of your fame that you're afraid to tell people anything because they use it against you? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think your point is actually good. Like it really could be something like that where he just thought, he did something really fucked up, and then, there's no way out of it, and he knows it's gonna come out, and he's just like, I'm gonna off myself before I go through some shit. Or he just could have been suffering from something like silently, man, and then it just became too much. Dude, was it last week that said something about, I can't remember what the hell the saying was, but it was like we make the problems in our head big or small. Mm-hmm. You can make something that could be really small to somebody else. You can make it the biggest thing ever. And depending on your ability to deal with that, could dictate something like this, whether you off yourself or not.
Yeah, man. I do think there's a lot of stress and pressure and all that shit that comes with being a man, and especially someone in his position who, you said, I don't know what his circle was like and if he can go to anyone or felt comfortable going to anyone, or sometimes you just need to get it off your chest, man.
Right. Just need to just say.
Yeah. So who knows, man? It sucks, man. I'd almost rather lean to there was something fucked up there, other than he didn't feel like talking to anybody, because it just seems so odd, man. Like, yeah. I don't know.
And and the guy's married, right? So you would hope that he could at least go to his wife. But what if his wife is the problem?
Yeah, who do you
know what I mean? Then if you're if you're sort of, you feel stuck again, who knows, man?
Yeah, man.
Who knows? I hope not for us, but I hope for his family's sake that they find out, what it was that was truly bothering him, just to kind of put some closure behind it. Because if everybody's walking around going like, man, didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
that's the worst. Right? If you're like his son or daughter that's left, and then you're going, fuck, man, like we was just hanging doing TikTok videos the day before, and then he killed himself.
Everything was fine. Yeah, I think it's funny, man, like, because suicide is one of those things where I think it leaves the people around you questioning more than like the thing. It's a tough one, right? Because the people around you could deal with the what if and the shit. Is there something that I could have done or should have done or whatever? Like, yeah, man, that's bizarre. It's funny, man. And personally, I've known people who've committed suicide, and they've all done it in some really fucked up ways.
Really?
Where you just go, damn, like he did it in this, like, nah, I want out. The whole shoot yourself in the head, you're done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that shit, man. I feel like some of the people that I've known, I'm like, you put yourself through some suffering, man. And then,
oh, so you got to talk to them after that?
Yeah, fuck. No, just the way they went, you're like, yo, it's not that difficult, bro. Find a tall building.
Didn't you tell me that you had like a grandfather?
Oh, my great grandfather would try all the time. I'm like, bro, it's not that hard. Yo, this motherfucker was trying to get an Olympic medal in suicides. Bro, he was jumping off moving cars, trying to hang himself on plumbing pipes. Oh my god, bro, my great grandfather was wild. Yo, and he was a shit human being, and he did anything and everything you could possibly imagine. That dude drank, he smoked, he was everything that was shitty about men in the 20s and 30s. He lived till he was in his mid 90s.
God punished
that motherfucker.
You're gonna stay here longer.
Yep. He was like, bro, that man was just fed up with life, bro. He lives in 90-something. I think he was trying to kill himself from like 70 on. Never pulled it off. And I'm like, yo, you're getting too fancy, bro. This dude was trying to, bro, he was doing the most, dude. He was, I don't know what, bro. He was trying to get awards or something for the suicide thing, bro, because this guy tried all kinds of wild shit. I'm like,
did you guys get to the point where you're like, again?
Bro, it would just be, sadly enough, it would just be like, again? You gonna ruin my Saturday and I gotta go see this motherfucker at the hospital? Yo, and then, not for nothing, man, but Then he dies finally because he has like a stroke and he's home alone, and he still lived, bro. 90 something, like a solid 90 something,
Yeah.
like lived by himself, didn't need help. There would be somebody that would drop in occasionally, like check on him, make sure he was alright, kids. But this motherfucker was still on the streets, riding horses around and shit. He was like, and he had a stroke home alone, and nobody found him for a couple of days. The only reason he didn't survive, and then he was still alive, bro. Days later,
Yeah.
and he was in a hospital, and he wound up eventually passing because he couldn't recover from the stroke on time
Right.
because he's old as hell. But like. Had someone probably been around at the time, he'd probably still be around, be 108 right now, smoking
going in and
cigars,
out of cars.
still trying to jump out of moving vehicles, or asking somebody to take him to New York just so he can jump off an Empire State Building. Like, bro, it's not that hard, bro. Why are you overcomplicating this shit, bro?
Oh
So
shit!
crazy, bro. Yo, did you see this? What is her name? Brocardi. She's like some singer songwriter, and she got married recently.
No.
She got married recently, and she went on a honeymoon to a place called Barry Island, and she's livid with like her, or disappointed with her honeymoon because she was saying that her husband, he's had like an unpredictable nature, and mainly he wouldn't pay for anything while they were on the honeymoon. So she was like super disappointed, super sad, and she was just like, I can't believe I did this, and was already thinking about calling it off because he wouldn't pay for anything during the honeymoon. She married a ghost.
You can do that?
If she can.
Who did somebody marry them?
I don't know how that works. I identify as an officiant for ghost wedding. I guess you could. Bro,
Where's
she
this?
said
Is this in Florida?
he would not pay for anything, but he started wrestling with her on the beach to be romantic while she was having her ice cream, and it came all over her instead.
Is this in Florida?
Nah, let me see. If it is, bro, it can't be. Let me see.
That's down there in
It can't
Broward
be,
County.
It's right up the street. Let me see what this was. Brocardi. I feel like she looks like she's from the UK.
Is she real pasty?
Yeah, she has that pasty glow in the light look about her. Where is this? Brocardi. Oh, British singer. I knew it. British singer marries ghost after he makes surprise visit to her bedroom. And there's even a whole YouTube video about what her life looks like with her spirit husband.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. I feel like this is clout chasing, maybe. But the fact
I
that
don't know what that is. I'm just surprised somebody took that story.
I'm glad, because then we get to sit here and laugh at shit like this.
Well, that's almost as good as my. They had a Midwest Fur Fest.
Fur?
Fur.
Okay.
It's a furry convention. It was in Rosemont, Illinois, at the Hyatt Hotel.
I wish I didn't have personal stories about furry convention.
But yo, so I've never seen. I've only ever heard.
Okay.
I've never looked it up. Never anything.
Did you know?
No, because
Okay.
in the article, dude, it's just people. It's like mascots.
Yeah.
That's what I sort of like, and it's not like mascots from like football teams,
No,
but
they just
essentially
dress
it's,
like
it's
animals
that.
and shit. Yeah, they're mascots. Yeah.
But they're like
People dressed like Chuck E. Cheese trying to get their jollies off.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of mascots.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't get it. Now they did do something that was good though. They donated over $100,000 to the Street Dog, to Street Dog, which is a charity that provides medical care to pets of homeless people.
Oh, shout out to the furries, yo.
So shout out to the
Yo,
furries.
does anyone take care of pets better than homeless folks, bro? You ever see?
You're 24/7 with them.
Yeah. Dude, I've seen dogs with homeless people. They look better fed than most people that I know who have personal dogs, like who have a house. And like you said, it's 24/7 with them. Their only companion. And yeah, dude, is anybody more selfless than a homeless person who has to feed a fucking dog?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when I'm going to eat, let alone I got to get something and then give it to you. Like, those got to be the best humans on earth, bro. You got to think about that. Like,
Well, you know what, man? You know, humans crave like companions.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And so if you go, well, the other the rest of the homeless community, they might steal from me. You know, the dogs are loyal, at least.
No, that's very true.
Right? You feed them, they're loyal, and I mean, you can't talk to them. Well, you could, but
You could.
they just won't answer back.
Man, bro, is that the difference between us and Asian countries? Some Asian. Let me rephrase. Some
we give them food off our plate. They end up on their plate. Not for nothing, man. I remember that old movie, that old documentary, Faces of Death.
Yeah.
One of them that I watched because they had like several. It was a Filipino family that they had these like husky type looking dogs.
Yeah.
And the puppy, they would take the puppies straight up, like and again, I'm not saying that all Filipinos do this. I'm just saying this is a video that I saw.
Yeah. No, I think it's fair to say in those, and I'm pretty sure you're right. In the Philippines, they do like some parts of it use like dogs as a delicacy, like or
and it was in the house. They grabbed like a nice like well fed puppy. Put him like alive on the cutting board and just start cutting.
Oh, they put him alive. That's a little wild.
Which I thought that was a little wild,
dude. And I think that I don't judge either way. Like jokes are jokes. I always make it's an easy joke with the Asian thing, but like I think there's a lot of places like that in the world, and especially in that part of the world where they do that. And we're usually the like, how could you do that? Like, because we're the morality police for the world. But I'm like, it's normal to them. They don't see it culturally the same way we look at it. So it may seem gross to us. I tell people like, that shit's not gross to them. Just like you go to a Chinese market and a wet market or whatever, and there's bats or whatever else the fuck that they eat. I'm like, there's only so much that you can feed billions of people. Like, you got to start tapping into some of the weird shit. You know what I'm like?
Bats.
You got like, I'm like, it looks odd to us.
That's how COVID started,
dude. It's just so bizarre because you're like, man, we got good selections here, bro. Yeah. But just like there's places that eat crickets and grasshoppers and whatever the fuck. Like I'm like, it's just like at this point I go, yeah, it's weird to us because we keep them as pets, but someone out there keeps pigs as pets, and someone out there keeps a lamb and whatever else, and just like, it's their thing, man.
Yeah, and then not for nothing, man. If anybody most Americans eat meat. Like cows, steak, shit like that.
Yeah.
If you ever go to a slaughterhouse, like that shit is nasty.
No, it's horrible.
It's nasty.
But the steak
it's horrible,
is so good.
But right. So as long as you just stay away, we can't be the morality police.
No.
We just stay away from that shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, don't look me in the eye, bro. Look that way, fucking.
It's like in Christmas Story. And they bring out the duck. He's like, he's smiling at me.
He's like, bop.
How we doing on time, bro?
Movie's the best, man. We're hour 7 in, man.
All right. You want to end with anything?
Let's see, man.
What you got?
I don't have anything to end it, man. I would say that, let's see, we have anything funny? We got to end with something funny.
What's this?
Actually, I don't even know.
Tell me about there's a guy that forgot his wife.
Oh, he forgot. I'm gonna use that in quotes. This guy in Thailand, him and his wife were on a little road trip, and they both took a pee stop. So he took a stop. He got out to go pee.
Okay.
I guess she also went out to go pee, but she was in the car when he left. So he gets back in the car and just starts driving away and leaves her. And evidently she had to walk 12 and a half miles to get help.
This dude didn't realize,
bro,
in 12, I mean,
he didn't forget you. I hate to break it to you. Dude, 12 and a half miles,
did they find her?
Hours.
Did they find him?
I think that, let me see, when she came back, she noticed her husband had driven off without her. She was then forced to walk 12.4 miles from where she reported the event to the police station. I don't even know if they got to him. But he said, they must have, because he said he accidentally left her behind. Listen. I'm going to tell you right now, 12.4 miles, you walk that it took you the whole day. Dude, if you're fast, you can walk 2 miles an hour, right? Like a brisk walk, you're walking maybe 3.
Yeah, I would say more.
You might be able to do 3. Okay, so for 4 hours, he's like, oh, shit, I forgot. She's not here anymore. He was enjoying the quiet so much. He looked over. He's like, I was wondering why there was no long-winded, uninteresting stories.
thought you fell asleep.
He's like, holy shit, she's not even here. Bro, this is how much we suffer in silence.
He got right to the car and goes, fuck this.
He's like, this is awesome. He's like, wow, she's really good. She must feel bad for
I
me.
wonder if he planned it. Like, right, do you
There's
go,
no fucking way that he didn't know.
right? And then you go over there, you know she's going to pee, so you go do it real quick and get back to the car and fucking haul ass.
Oh my God, bro. Like, he noticed that she ran off and he ain't even bothered. He ain't shaking off nothing. He just went, go to the next rest stop.
That's fucked up, bro. That's so fucked up, man. I don't care how much I don't like you, man. I can't leave people out there like that.
I know people who have gotten left like that. This is a story for a different part.
All right, man. Yo, man, I want to close it off with a little thing from Mark Manson. You know, Mark Manson, he got the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I forget his other book, but he's an author, really good author. If you guys have interested in reading the book, definitely check his stuff out. But he has something on his. He does like this weekly email.
Okay.
And the ones that he just started. He kind of has like things to think about, like things to journal about, and then things to take action on.
Okay.
But he had this thing this week where he said talks about fear, and he goes, fear doesn't control us by dominating our emotions. It controls us by quietly convincing us that our comfort is more important than happiness.
Oof.
Right?
Ain't that shit the truth?
Say that shit one more time. So fear doesn't control us by dominating our emotions. Fear controls us by quietly convincing us that our comfort is more important than happiness. And then he goes on to say, the only real risk is taking no risks. The only real failure is having no failures. The only real pain is the avoidance of pain. And I just sat back, man. I'm just like, man, that's so fucking
That
true,
shit ain't
man.
so spot on, bro.
It is. It is. And a lot of us, including myself, I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes, man. Where you go, like your comfort levels, man. If you right, they will
Shackles
stop
you,
you.
bro.
Yeah, they'll stop you. You sort of like create your own jail.
Shackles you, bro.
So with that, at the end of the year, folks, take 2023 by the horns and do what you got to do. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.